Hello guys, zip through film history with Flashback flicks, subscribe for the ride. Step into the vibrant world of Sing, where a struggling theater owner's gamble on a singing competition brings together a cast of unforgettable characters. Watch as these animals light up the stage with their passion, proving that everyone has a star-quality performance within them. Our tale begins in a vibrant city teeming with anthropomorphic animals. We find ourselves witnessing the birth of a dream. A young koala, merely 6 years old, sits in awe as the curtain rises on a magnificent theater production. This is Buster Moon, and in this moment, his plans of becoming the first koala in space are instantly forgotten. Instead, a new passion takes root, a love for the theater that will shape his entire life. Years later, we find Buster Moon as the proud owner of the Moon Theater. However, his dream is teetering on the brink of collapse. Creditors are banging on his door, and the performers from his last show are demanding their unpaid wages. Buster, ever the optimist, assures his elderly iguana assistant, Miss Crawley, that everything will be fine. In a stroke of desperate inspiration, Buster concocts a plan for a singing competition. He's convinced this is the answer to all his problems. With Miss Crawley's help, he prints flyers advertising a $1,000 prize. But fate intervenes in the form of Miss Crawley's glass eye, which pops out at an inopportune moment, causing a typing error that changes the prize to $100,000. As the flyers scatter across the city, we're introduced to our cast of hopeful contestants. There's Rosita, a pig and overworked mother of 25 piglets, who dreams of stardom but can barely find time to shower, let alone rehearse. Johnny, a young gorilla with a soulful voice, finds himself torn between his passion for singing and his father's expectations for him to join the family's criminal gang. Ash, a teenage porcupine with a punk rock attitude, bristles at being sidelined in her boyfriend's band, longing for a chance to showcase her own talents. Mina, a shy teenage elephant, possesses a powerful voice but is paralyzed by stage fright. And then there's Mike, a tiny mouse with a massive ego and smooth-talking charm, who sees the competition as his ticket to the big time and the luxurious life he believes he deserves. As audition day arrives, the Moon Theater is swarming with hopeful contestants. Buster, blissfully unaware of the prize money mistake, excitedly selects his performers. He pairs Rosita with flamboyant Pig Gunter to spice up her act. Johnny's soulful performance earns him a spot, while Ash is chosen over her boyfriend, much to her surprise. Mike's jazzy crooning secures his place, and Mina freezes on stage and isn't able to participate in the performance. The rehearsals can begin, but Buster is facing a problem. He discovered only now that the amount of the reward is $100,000 instead of $1,000 it has. He managed to play the game in front of the candidates. He sent the candidates home, and the rehearsal will begin tomorrow. Mina's family encourages her to overcome her stage fright, and encourages her to ask Mr. Buster for a second chance. The next day, Rosita struggles to balance her newfound showbiz dreams with her family responsibilities, going so far as to build an elaborate contraption to handle her household chores. Johnny's rehearsals are constantly interrupted by his father's heist plans, forcing him to lead a double life. As all the contestants arrive at the theater, Mr. Buster hands them the script for their roles, and just as the rehearsal begins, a power outage occurs, skipping the current because the theater hasn't paid its bills. In an attempt to restore power, Buster encounters Mina, a young elephant with a beautiful voice but too shy to sing at her audition. She asks Buster for a second chance, but he only half listens and instead hires her as a new theater stagehand. After the rehearsal, Mike obtains a credit card from the bank and uses it to buy a luxury car, hoping to impress a female mouse. Together, they go to a club for a party. While there, Mike gets involved in gambling with a group of bears and manages to win. However, the bears soon discover that he cheated. As they began to chase him, Mike desperately runs away but ultimately manages to escape safely. That same evening, Ash arrives at her apartment and finds her boyfriend with another girl. Furious, she throws both of them out of her apartment. Mr. Buster faces the daunting task of securing the prize money. He turns to his best friend Eddie, a sheep from a wealthy family, for help. The next morning, together, they approach Eddie's grandmother, the legendary opera singer Nana Noodleman, in hopes of securing her as a sponsor. She flatly refuses to take any money for Buster, but he convinces her to attend a special performance just for her. Nana reluctantly agrees. Mr. Buster breaks the news to the contestants, asking them to prepare for the dress rehearsal. He informs them that tomorrow, Nana Noodleman will be in the audience. Johnny receives a call from his father, asking him to join a robbery. He reluctantly agrees and drops them off at the location. However, not wanting to miss the rehearsal, Johnny decides to head back to the theater, planning to return to the robbery before it's over. As rehearsals begin, each contestant faces their own set of challenges. Ash, who has just left her cheating boyfriend, and Rosita, who fell on stage and lost her confidence. Johnny arrives just in time to start the rehearsal. He quickly finishes the performance and leaves to pick up the gang. However, he gets stuck in traffic. Meanwhile, the gang completes the robbery, but when they realize Johnny is not there, they attempt to flee but are eventually caught by the police. Buster, with Nina's help, transforms the floor into an aquarium. As the day of the show approaches, Buster encourages the contestants to give their best. Meanwhile, Nana Noodleman arrives, and he leads her to the royal box. Mike, who is talking on the phone with his girlfriend outside the theater, is caught by the bears. They demand money from him, and Mike promises to return with it, revealing that the prize money is inside the box. On stage, Buster starts the performance, in aquariums where dance luminescent squid. The effect is stunning, and even Nana seems charmed. However, the bears intervene, demanding the prize money that's inside the box. They break open the box to get to it. The truth about the prize money comes out, leaving the contestants feeling betrayed, and he does not have the promised money. Immediately after this revelation, the aquarium glass to crackle and pipes give way, the theater is flooded and, to the horror of Buster, building collapses. Buster, desperate, sees his dream crumble along with the building, like the other candidates. The terrain of the theater was seized by the bank. Buster finds refuge with his friend Eddie. The remaining candidates come to visit and encourage him all over again. Buster refuses showing newspapers that depict them as a fool, a loser who had himself destroyed the theater in his madness. Disappointed, the 5 candidates return home while Buster performs the only job he can do, the car wash. Work was his father, and that allowed Buster to buy his theater. However, hearing the divine voice of Mina who sings on the ruins of the theater, Buster regained hope, and he calls the all candidates decides to organize, not a competition, but a simple musical performance outdoors. All candidates and Buster, Miss Crawley and Eddie put the heart into it and organize for this show. They prepare the stage for the show and spread the word all over the city. As night falls, a small crowd gathers in front of the makeshift stage. The show begins before an audience of more modest, consisting mainly of family and friends of the candidates. However, it is broadcast on television. The first performers, Rosita and Gunter, dazzle with their energetic dance number, overcoming technical difficulties with pure enthusiasm. Amazes Norman, the husband of Rosita and her piglet's children. The public begins to flow. It was then the turn of Johnny, whose voice marveled to his father following the show in his cell and escapes from jail to find his son and tell him he is finally proud of him. Then comes the turn of Ash, who conquered the audience with the song she composed on his split with Lance. Mike then took the microphone, so that the Mafia Bear learned that he is still alive and rushed to the theater to capture Mike's smooth jazz performance is cut short when he's chased off stage by bears he swindled. It will fortunately saved by his new girlfriend. Finally, Mina, encouraged by others, agreed to present its number in the admiration of the public, although his performance somewhat damaged the scene. At the end of the show, Buster discovers that Nana Noodleman is in the audience and beckoned him that she enjoyed the show. Nana bought the land and financed the reconstruction of the Moon Theater, which was opened some time later by Buster and all other candidates of the singing competition. This has been recap of the Sing movie. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting stories from Flashback Flicks. See you next time.